They made the mold and then they broke it. There'll never be another one quite like him, but there'll be plenty of them that's under his lineage. The man got an orphanage, have to be. He got plenty of sons and daughters that are out there.
Facts.
What makes him most amazing is this man has transcended through every single generation that this culture has had and continues to ascend as we talk about him this day. Come on, man. One of the top MCs of all time. I first met him as Casanova Fly. That's how I knew him. Way back on the West Coast, we knew what the real was. We knew that man lied when he said those lyrics in that song that went fucking colossal. But we knew it was written and it was produced and it was made and it was created by somebody who's anointed with his pen. If you don't believe me, ask Will Smith, he'll tell you. If you don't believe me, ask Big Daddy Kane, he'll tell you. If you don't believe me, ask Jay-Z, he'll tell you. And many more will tell you who they were most influenced by is by this man right here. He's seen it. He's done it. He's been it. He's reinvented it. He's reimagined it. You seen him on the big screen. Come on. You saw him at Rock the Bells. You can hear him on Rock the Bells. Shout out to LL Cool J, the biggest legend of them all. Come on. Next to this, man. I got to say, I'm happy to have him here. I remember when I first came to New York City, he was one of the first people I reached out to.
Crazy.
To this day, my daughter would claim to know him and that he's her uncle, and she get so much props in school growing up in junior high and high school when they Googled and found out who he was. They were more happy that he was her uncle than I was her father.
Oh, you know what? You know what?
The man took me on a tour of the Bronx when I first came and did something specifically for a DVD that King Tech and I put out for our album Back to Basics and just told the history of the culture and just been steadfast ever since. And he just never ceases to amaze me. He got a new song with an artist called Daddy Ru.
That's me.
And it's called My Parasite. And that's what we just played. I want to welcome him to the show, the one and only, the legendary Grandmaster Caz.
Crazy. Salute.
Wow.
Come on, Caz.
A lot of love, a lot of kudos there.
Come on, man. I didn't have enough time. I could have kept going, man. Who is this amazing person that you brought here with you today?
This is Daddy Ru. Okay, she is a new artist on the horizon. Her music just hit me so hard. We were working together on a project, and she was in the production, doing the production, part of the production, and we just started kicking it, during the downtime. And she said, "Well, I do music. I got this new song that I'm working on. I hear it all day.
Okay.
I know you hear it all day. Heather, you hear it every day. People sending you music and all that. Most of it I don't even have time for. But she was very cool, and like we clicked. So I said, all right, send it to me. Let me check it out. Man, I went home. I heard this song. This is the first time that I've been inspired.
Wow.
In a long time, as far as music is concerned, as far as hearing music and it moving me and making me want to do something. It just struck me like that. The next day, I was like, yo, I would love to be on this song. I would love to drop a verse on it. We went in the studio. A couple of weeks later, she was like, yo, come to this address. We shooting the video.
Wow.
And it was amazing. So the song is called My Parasite. Daddy Ru.
Daddy Ru, welcome to the show, Daddy Ru.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you spell Daddy Ru? Because you're.
Daddi and then Ru.
What's the meaning behind Daddy Ru?
Well, my last name, I go by Ru because I'm a film director as well. So Darian Ru is my legal name.
Okay.
And then, my friends started calling me Dad, and then it turned into a daddy thing, and now we're here,
I'm not mad at that. Did you know the magnitude of this person you met when you met him?
So I met him producing a series for him on A&E, and it's fascinating to see how things kind of come together when you never expect it. This guy is a legend, but did I ever think that he was going to come onto my record? No. He amplified the song times a million, and I think it's a really beautiful amalgamation of styles. And I'm singing this dark jazz voice style thing, and he's coming in here with this legendary rap. It's just fucking awesome. So yeah, I'm really thankful for him coming on, and I'm excited to see what we work on together, and more to come.
Yo, so I'm just, Grandmaster Caz is here, Daddy Ru is here. Caz, You do get it all the time. I do get it all the time. Can you recall a time when somebody brought you a demo tape or something that was new and you did like it and it turned out to be somebody we all know?
Not that I can recall.
You know what?
No, not that I can recall. I'm gonna be honest with you. People ask me for years, like, you know, I want you to manage me, or do you want to manage, or you know what I mean, going to manage or discovering new artists. And I would never put an artist's career in my hands.
Okay, why not?
I mean, I haven't fared that well on my own, with my own career. So, you know what I mean? The pitfalls, the mistakes I made, the things that I don't know about the business. I've really been anti-record business for a long time. You know what I mean? So I don't have the connections and the ties. Sure, everybody knows me. I'm Caz. People think you could just walk in and tell anybody anything and they're going to go for it. No, that's not necessarily so. But this is the first time, like I said, that I've been inspired by someone else's music and it brought out something in me. I mean, this is not like I do collabs all the time. You know what I mean? 16 verses here, put a verse on that, put it on verse on that. You know, I've been on all K Slays, you know, joints from the 50 to 110 to 200. You can always see me doing what I do. But I'm not out here trying to compete with young MCs out here right now. It's their turn.
That's their turn,
But I'm
right.
trying to transcend that and go into another realm of Grandmaster Caz. And this song takes me there.
That's what I
It
liked
took me
about
there.
it. So, Daddy Ru, when I first heard the song, I was in Oakland and Caz hit me. He was like, yo, I got something. I'm going to send it to you. And I was like, okay, all right, Caz hit me. Shit, I happened to be in the car. I was like, well, let me throw it on. Let me listen now before I forget to listen. And I never want to get on his bad side, right?
I wouldn't.
Yo, how many minutes did it take before I called you back after you played?
Oh, man, like, I don't know how many, but right away.
Right away, because
Instant response.
And here's why, you know, because Caz is a treasure chest of information and experience for this culture, right? And what he's done in the past to get to this point. And I think it's even equally important that we talk about where he at this point and how he's moving forward. Because when we look at other genres and we can see the likes of Rolling Stones or Earl Smith or all of these different people and groups that are performing till they're well into their 80s and it's acceptable and people coming to the concerts and shit. We had this issue with hip hop where when you reach a certain plateau, folks think you got to go away and wither. That ain't happening, you know. And so it's important for Caz to succeed. So when folks get to that phase of their career, they'll know where to go. And then the fact that you're being inspired at this time, I think is amazing because I've been doing this shit I've done radio for 32 years.
32
Wow.
years.
Put the claps up, Tom.
man. Hold on. The hell, Caz?
32. Wow.
But I mean, we had a really awesome conversation with Ice-T here at SiriusXM. Where
Yes.
he was saying that it's really cool to be bringing together like different types of music and creating a new type altogether, you know, and that's I think what this song is doing. Like it's kind of creating its own path instead of sticking to like paths that are popular now or already created.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ice responded the same way you did. I sent it to Ice. Ice hit me right back. He said he was in his car. He just played it right there on the spot, and he just hit me right back. He's like, this is you. This is where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the next, plateau for you. You know what I mean? You don't really have to be out here trying to out-rap nobody. You know what I mean? On
You've
the track.
held those crowns.
You've done all that already.
Yeah, I agree, Caz. Let me ask you this, man. And I know you get this all the time, and I get it all the time, having the whole who to go conversations, and we always stopped doing that.
Yeah, so did we.
Yeah,
So
you did too? Why-
So did I, and we, me and my partner, Shy Rock.
Shout out to Sha Rock.
Come on, Sha Rock.
On Rock
We
the
see
Bells Radio.
Yep.
Come on.
We
Doing an excellent job, by the way.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And we get that all the time. Top this, top that. Us being the OGs of this culture, there's no way that we can divide the culture by just lessening it to a top 5, a top 10, or even a top 20 amount of people, because the magnitude of the artists who have permeated this landscape called hip hop is immeasurable.
Yes.
And for you to demean it by just breaking it down to a few people, I think doesn't do it justice. So we stopped doing that as well.
And you can't even do it because the eras it's incomparable.
One thing, the eras, there's generations of hip hop that have gone by, and it's opinionated.
Yeah.
It's based on what you like. So we could say this is the top, this and that, but if you don't feel that way, your opinion is just as valid as the people who made that list. So it's not always going to be 100%. No one's opinions are going to be everybody's opinions. So it's subjective. Lists are subjective, depending on the person that's making a list.
Grandmaster Caz, man, he found peace in this. I see what you did. I see where Caz is at with it, man. Ain't nothing gonna stress him out. I ain't been doing this shit too long. They still paying me to show up at concerts and host.
Okay.
You know. They still paying me. They paying me to do radio. I got podcasts now. I'm Grandmaster Caz. You better understand. I got new music right now.
I have arrived out this bitch.
Come on, he just got it. Welcome to the game, Grandmaster Caz. Come on, man.
Right. Man, but it feels really good. Like I said, I've been kind of disenchanted.
Yes.
With the music business for a long time. Hip-hop is like a roller coaster. It goes up and down, it twists, it turns, it goes away from you, it comes back to you, but it always lands on its wheels.
It always lands on its wheels. So
even when it takes these different turns and loops and all that, we just wait for hip-hop to get back to some kind of normalcy where we can get back on it and then take that ride again. So that's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? And this ride I'm taking with my girl, Daddy Ru.
Daddy Ru, come on.
You've always been super supportive, though, of women. I remember the first time meeting you, and he was just so complimentary. I was like, wow, like, can I just scream right now and tell him I remember seeing him in the movie? I remember, you know what I mean? Like, you've always been so complimentary, and I appreciate it. I'm sure you did that as well, because a lot of times I think when people say OGs, like, you don't get that love that you're looking for. Sometimes a lot of the artists who came before you, they don't imagine that, like, literally we were home studying your tapes. We were watching you. We were emulating you. We wanted to be like you. Yo, he got his pants this way, the shoelaces. Let me try to do my shit like that. Like, it was our superheroes. You know what I mean? So thank you first and foremost for always just being extremely complimentary. Now, my hip hop question to you. I remember. No, because I was telling Sway this morning, going to see you the film and everything back, and then my cousin getting us in, and the Yvette rhyme, right? Like, so did you inspire LL's Dear Yvette? Or and like the whole Rock the Bells radio, like it blew my mind when you was on Rock the Bells radio. I was happy, but the first thing that came to my mind was Yvette, and I was wondering if there was
song Yvette.
Yeah, because there was a long time ago when I never forget.
Yvette, there's a rumor going. But his version,
the one I know, I remember from the movie, and then LL's Dear Yvette. So I was just wondering. This is my own hip hop.
Well. My Yvette was the first Yvette.
Absolutely.
And LL was inspired by my Yvette.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, he said that in interviews.
Oh, has he? Okay.
And that, Will Smith as well has publicly put it out there that Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble is a blatant ripoff from Yvette. You know what I mean? And that's just a testament to what you said earlier about how people study us.
Absolutely.
And actually are so much fans, they emulate us to the point of it kind of becomes them somewhat. And that's why I may be complimentary, like you say, to artists, some artists, because I see myself in them. You know, when I hear you, I hear me. You know what I mean? And it's not patting myself on the back, but it's a compliment to what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? So I see that. I see the dedication I put into it. When I see somebody's passion, it's like I gravitate toward that. So when I see I compliment it. You know
Got it.
I love that.
Thank you for that answer. I didn't know, but yeah, I'm glad. I didn't hear Elle
my
say that.
Yvette was the first Yvette and spawned a lot of stories about girls later on in hip hop.
LaToya. All of
Just
that.
Ice.
Other names, that come up. I mean, just the theme of putting a story rhyme together about a girl. That was kind of one of the first prototypes of that.
I like that. So since Heather went in the crate, I wasn't gonna dig in the crate today with you, Caz. I was gonna keep it right here. But Heather dug in the crate, so I'm gonna dig in the crate a little bit too. Then. we celebrated. We just celebrated what we know as 49 years of hip hop.
Yes,
the
indeed.
Anniversary, 50 years next year, and we give a lot of credit to a lot of folks like Grandmaster Flash, Africa Bambaataa, yourselves, Cold Crush, Funky 4 plus one more. I could keep going on and on. And of course, Kool Herc. Right, Kool Herc gets a lot of the credit as the Godfather,
the father
of hip hop. So I'm curious to and I'll tell you where I'm gonna go with this. When I was in France, I had an argument in 2006 on where hip hop began, right? And as we knew it then, and I'm arguing with these b-boys, ill-ass b-boys. You know how it is overseas.
Oh yeah,
they dancing as great as we are, right? And DJs, and it took me saying, who's the oldest b-boy here? And I'm surrounded by Parisian dudes who are ready to fight me over this. And I love their passion. The oldest b-boy came over, and I was like, hey, what's your name? He told me his name. I said, how long you been dancing? And he said somewhere around the mid-90s. I said, well, okay. But I didn't make fun of it. I was like, okay, who'd you learn from? And he said, Prince, Ken Swift. Right? Okay, just original Rocksteady crew.
Yeah.
That's my dude, Prince. Okay, cool. So when I explained to who Ken Swift was, they start saying, okay, well, the reason why we thought that is because we had train tracks and people were tagging back in the late 80s too. All it made me think of is while one thing is happening here, there are other things happening there or over here. Same way when things were happening in the 70s in New York, there were things that were happening on the West Coast in the 70s as well, right? So specifically, what was going on in New York in 73 outside of the Bronx? What was going on in Brooklyn? Were there DJs like Flash? Were there DJs like Herc that were making their strides?
Is that the question?
That's the question. Who else was out there?
I mean, for the most part, hip-hop, as we know, the hip-hop style of DJing, the hip-hop music played is indicative of the Bronx.
Okay.
And if you look at the songs that were played by DJs in other areas, Queens, Brooklyn, whatever, they have a different set of music in their crates.
Okay.
The top song that they play in a night is different from the top song that we play in a hip-hop jam, okay? Hip-hop is Apache, bongo rock, Just Begun, Give It Up, Turn It Loose, James Brown, Sex Machine, okay? That Brooklyn was Love Is the Message.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That Queens vibe was Loving the Message. You know what I mean? That kind of groove, that kind of disco, grown and sexy kind of groove. And hip hop is the streets.
Okay.
It's the beats. It's the breaks. It's the sections of the record that we played that made it hip hop. So that was later adopted by other boroughs and other generations. But all that started in the Bronx. So. Claims can be made all day, every day, and I agree that when something is going on in one place, there's no way in the world that's kind of mindset, that narrative is not in someone else's head somewhere else. The conditions that led up to that need for self-expression that we had during the 70s, those conditions existed in other places
everywhere,
as well.
Right?
Okay, so there was a burgeoning hip-hop scene probably in the places that it is now. They just didn't know what it was yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It wasn't formulated. There was no name to it. There was no documentation of it. Okay. That's why we always say the first documented hip-hop party was given August 11th, 1973 at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue.
There you go,
Right.
Grandmaster Caz. So when you heard the bridge, what was your reaction?
I'm from the Bronx. So when I heard the bridge, I just thought it was a cool joint from a cat from Queens. I didn't have the same reaction that KRS did, and, because I understood that he wasn't claiming that hip hop started as a whole in Queens. He was saying for him, and that's the narrative I got from it. He was saying for him, hip hop started out in the park. We used to do it. He's talking about what they used to do and where it started
in that
for
borough.
them. Yeah, in that particular borough. So I didn't take it as he was trying to claim hip hop, but KRS did, and it started the Bridge Wars, which was one of the most interesting battles, back and forth between artists. Never led to any bloodshed, any killings, any shootings. You know what I mean? it was healthy for the culture.
It was healthy for Grandmaster Caz. We could do this all day. I heard Caz compliment Eminem as a lyricist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who are just taking shots at Eminem now, as if it's almost like they want to erase his lyrical legacy.
You can take shots at him all day. I mean, but battle him though.
Yeah.
Can you rhyme better than him? That at the end of the day, you can't criticize for somebody for something you don't do. All right. So if you don't rap or you don't write rhymes, who the fuck is you to say how good Eminem is or isn't? That ain't even what you do.
Yeah.
You're a passive observer. You know what I mean? So it's not for you to judge. Lyricists are judged by their peers. And I'm pretty sure if you're a lyricist, ain't no sideways ass nigga gonna tell you ain't and you gonna listen to him.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. You don't even do this. Get the fuck out of here.
Grandmaster Caz. I love it, man. Daddy Ru.
Yes.
What's up with you? I see a lot of different personalities in this one human being. What I'm seeing right here, I'm seeing something. It's lovely though. It's interesting. I feel like I'm looking in the abyss of humanity when I look at you. What am I seeing?
Deep, babe. I love that.
Yeah.
Cosmic. Okay. What do you
cosmic.
see?
That's some metaphysical right here. What I see ain't what it is. What is it?
I mean, in what regard? Where do I start?
Who are you?
My therapist could maybe help answer that a little bit.
We're looking for those answers now.
We're in search of that.
Where you come? Where does style come from?
Well, I've been in New York for quite some time. I moved here when I was 13. I was a ballet dancer in Lincoln Center, which might be hard to believe with the shaved head and the tattoos and everything.
I see it.
That's a different side of me that you see in there still.
Okay, see.
And then I became a dominatrix in the city, so shit got changed up.
I'm smelling that dominatrix
smell the
at the beat. That's what it is. I'm smelling that dominatrix. Caz.
My back is still hurting.
I can't.
He wishes. You see the music video for my parents?
It look
You
amazing.
see he wishes.
Yo, Caz look like, I called him back and said, you look like a superhero in this video. Right?
No, they did me up. She had me ready. She had my outfit. They had the whole thing planned. I don't know if you saw. You couldn't see. It was kind of dark, but I had on chaps.
Assless
You know what I mean?
chaps.
With the ass out, but I didn't have my ass out. I had jeans on over them.
Word.
But yeah,
Caz,
that big
come
like
on.
Frankenstein kind of boots. That the whole look was. I was so dark and sinister. All I needed, I should have had some teeth. I should have had some vampire teeth in my mouth.
Yeah.
At the end, I'm drinking blood. He's crowning me. I'm like some slutty elf. It's really fantastic.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't get a little nervous about that? You know, back in the day, you would have did that. They would have said you worshiping the devil.
You know what?
He is.
I don't give a fuck. Okay, whenever you step out of the realm of what people expect of you, it throws them off somewhat. And even though people haven't heard from me musically in this sense in a while, sure, you've heard me rap, you've heard me do collabs or whatever. You know what I do. You know what I'm capable of. But people haven't heard me like this, musicianship. And I'm hearing like Lady Gaga. I'm hearing, you know what I mean? I'm hearing like the truest voices that you can hear. Amy Winehouse. I'm saying this is the soul that comes out of this woman right here.
Yeah.
And it just touched me. I hope it touches everybody else the way I feel it. The video is out.
Okay.
Right
and
now.
it's called
My Parasite.
Yeah.
My Parasite. It's on
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It just
Congratulations.
came out yesterday.
That's
Thank
dope.
you.
real quick, though, because we got to wrap in a second, but I got to ask her about Dominatrix, Caz. I'm sorry.
You went back to
I
that?
have to come back. No, but everybody wants to know. That's what we want to know. Is that hip-hop, by the way, Caz? Dominatrix? And we put that in the hip-hop category?
I guess we can now.
I mean, we're about to because I have a song called Hedonist coming out with Ether Boy Ron Browse, and he's a hip hop legend too.
And Ron Browse?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ron
wow.
Brown's produced
Yeah.
our next joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What is Dominatrix? Who does that appeal to commonly? The person who
Yeah.
wants to be
dominated.
Yeah, I mean, it comes in a lot of forms, but it's funny for me, even walking to Sirius XM today. I'm in Midtown where I used to work in a dungeon when I was like 19. You know, this is a while ago for me, and but you know, there's people that are up in the high-rise buildings when you're walking down the street that are up there getting their ass whipped, and it's really fun. It's really fun to think about that. So
like CEOs,
CEOs, unhappy husbands, you name it. I mean, but I was called Queen of Pain because my shit was like whipping you till you cried, and then I would go home. That was it.
Wow, and then you go home. Yeah. But what about you? Can you find pleasure if it's just regular? It's sexual interaction?
It wasn't any sex. I just would whip the shit out of people. And I mean, I was 19. You know, I was finding my footing. I was really lost. I just quit ballet and I guess went to the far end of the spectrum and did something else. And then after that, I got into film and TV work as a director and producer. So I've done a wide range. So yeah, I guess there's a few personalities in me, but that was definitely a fun one, and I'll speak to it in that song coming out with Ether Boy. But I think it's important to talk about it because, I mean, at the end of the day, sex work is work, and those people need to be treated with equality and safety as well. So I sing about it, and also, I mean, there will be whips and chains in the video, and maybe Grandmaster Caz will get an assless chaps again if you're lucky.
I don't think so.
I'll be joining Caz. I'll be his manager that day. He will not be wearing assless.
I'll be directing that video.
Caz, I'll be like, Caz, let me talk to you for a second.
Sway, I need you over
Yeah,
there.
got you, Caz. Don't worry. That ain't gonna be the last
Show
Google
up
moment.
with a safe word.
You know. Well, listen, man. Caz, I would love for you to come back and we can have some further conversation. You know,
always. I am a fellow alumni of Sirius XM.
Absolutely.
I'm right next door, Rock the Bells Radio. You got my producer in here, Tone V.
Come on, Tone.
You know what I mean? We connected, baby.
We connected,
anytime.
man. And congratulations. Are y'all gonna be performing this song on stage at all, or?
We're trying to get some. Of course, eventually, yeah. But the song just dropped. The video just dropped right now. You guys can check it out on YouTube. It's called My Parasite. And then we just wait for the phone to ring. You know, just keep sending it out, keep putting it out.
Yeah.
You guys that are listening, you know what I mean? Copy the link in my bio. Check it out and just, you know, put it out there. Let everybody know. It is amazing. It is an amazing song. She is an amazing artist, and it's an amazing video.
And I love to see you two together. This is an amazing tandem. All right. Okay. Listen, hit them up at The Real Grandmaster Caz on Instagram. The Real Grandmaster Caz. Daddy Ru, what's your social media?
At Daddy Ru.
Yeah.
There it is.
DADDIIRUU. Daddy Ru.
DADDI.
There's two I's.
Two I's.
DADDIIRUU. Daddy Ru.
RUU. Okay, we'll have you back up too.
Yes, please. Next song comes out October 22nd with Ether Boy, so let's do it.
Come hang out. Caz stamped you. You good money.
Yeah.
You already know.
You good
GMC
money.
approved, baby.
Come on, you good money. Trust me, all right? All right, we're going to come right back. Here it is again. We're going to play it twice.
Yes.
Yay.
Sway in the Morning, Shade 4-5.